Listen, we don't have much time. We can get you out there, but you need to follow my instructions. As soon as you step into the building, we're going to lose communications. You'll have to find a way to re-establish them in the comm center. Just one more thing. Beware the red lights. I repeat, beware the red lights.
Hi, my name is Stefano and this is my demo reel using Audiokinetic Wise and the open source first-person shooter game Cube. Throughout this video, I'll show you how I created and implemented all the SFX into Wise. First of all, I changed some aspects of the game, I inserted new triggers and modified the script so that I could implement radio messages to guide the player throughout the game. In addition to that, since Cube has only one game call for ammo pickups, I decided to change the texture underneath each one of them to use the footstep switch as a way to trigger different sounds for shotgun, rifle, chain gun, and rockets. These have been created by layering different objects that I recorded. I used different microphones depending on the objects I had to record and the environment. In studio, I used Neumann TLM-102 and Shure SM7B for respectively sounds with slow and fast transient. Outdoor, I used a Rode NTG3 to isolate bleeding noise as much as possible. I made the shotgun by recording a balloon that I popped up in a large hole and by distorting and modifying it with lots of different effects. The pump in and out sounds come from a coffee machine mechanism and several other clicking sounds. To create the rifle, I applied a similar process, but I added some modulated noise to create a sound which would pitch down to simulate the effect of a faster bullet. The chain gun is made of a kick sound heavily distorted and a bunch of clicking sounds layered onto that. The rocket launcher is made of two chisels that are rubbed onto each other. The explosion comes from a sample library and is made of two different layers. To add the sensation of space, I create an attenuation which would decrease the level of the thrust and the explosion depending on how far that happened. There are different monsters in the game. I wanted to give to each one of them different characters, so I used different sources for all of them. The Slith has got an alien aspect, with muscles and tendons, so I wanted to give it a sound which will reflect the sensation of something tense and clicking. That comes from a cup with some water where I rubbed my fingers on. The bowl is made of layers of lions, tigers, and my voice pitched down and heavily modified with effects. Since the Wrath has some kinds of device on his head, I thought of using a vocoder to join machine and human sounds. The Rhino sounds have been made by using an electro slash that I made, which I use to capture electromagnetic sounds from a laptop and a smartphone. I created the orc and the hell pig sounds by making garglings. On the pig, I layered the sounds of a dog. To make the radio sounds, I asked a voiceover actor to record some phrases.
I don't like this. This is supposed to look different. Get to the quad at the end of the hall and go back. Over.
The radio messages have been activated, sometimes with triggers or with other events. For instance, I wanted the radio to start playing after a player defeated 3 bows. Thus, I added an event that would trigger only when the game call Bow Death would have been activated 3 times.
Jesus, that was a close one. Get to the other side of the bridge and find the emergency exit. Over.
The teleporter is a mix of noise and synthesized sounds. In the game, once the player steps into the teleporter, that triggers a low-pass filter to add a nice effect and to simulate the passage between 2 different
Over.
dimensions. As the player gets damaged, an RTCP changes the vocal response, making it more stressful. In addition to that, a heartbeat starts being played when the health situation is critical. A low-pass filter and some reverb are applied to every other sound effects to simulate the sensation of risk. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to contact me, you can find all of my contact details in the description.